A while ago, I ran a poll on my community page asking what video y'all would like next, and explaining the Shia tribe hierarchy won. For anyone new here, or if you somehow missed the last one, here's a little backstory. The Shia tribe is from my work-in-progress graphic novel, Dreamwalkers, and they live as their ancestors did, separate from the rest of the world. Like if Native Americans and the Amish had a child.
Disclaimer, the Shia tribe is not based on any real-life native peoples in any way. Don't come at me.
Their territory is a forested mountain area across the river from Decca City. More on all this later. Last time I explained the base story and introduced the main character, video linked here. Today, I will be covering what each role is, where they are in the ranks, who is currently in each position, and how they are running things. Let's take it from the top. First up, obviously, there's the leader at the top. They give the final say in what the tribe does and how they operate. To signify their position, the leader wears Shina's star, an ancient heirloom said to be worn by the Shia tribe's first leader and represents their responsibility to the tribe as the head star. A lot of star imagery for the leader. Can you tell this was based on warrior cats? Satume doesn't remember much of his childhood or his parents as they both died when he was very young. All he does remember is being attacked by a bear and his older brother Buck protecting him. After surviving the attack, Redacted, the leader at the time, selected him to train as his successor at the terrifyingly young age of 7, thus destroying whatever semblance of a childhood Satume could have. It wasn't all darkness though. Satume had his brother and a few friends to light his life. Brightest of all was Naomi, a kind voice and the love of his life. It would be many years before Satume worked up the courage to ask her to marry him, which of course, she said yes. As leader, Satume works hard to undo the damages done by the previous leader's bloodlust. He listens to the wishes of his tribe mates and is willing to follow unconventional routes to ensure the safety and happiness of his tribe. One such route sprung up from his unlikely kinship with David, a gang leader from the city, who helped devise the summer camp plan of sending gang members to live with the tribe to help bolster their numbers. Everything he does for the betterment of the Shia tribe, but he would never resort to acts of cruelty for anyone's sake. Next up, we have the tribe guardian. They are just under the leader in rank, however, a wise leader will adhere to their authority as they serve as the tribe's spiritual leader, so to speak. Similar to the leader, guardians are chosen at young ages to begin their training to harness their abilities. Last video, I explained what their powers were and what a dreamwalker was, so in short, tribe guardians use their abilities to read people's souls to help them overcome their inner darkness. Like if a therapist were empathic. Sorta mind readers. The Diana Troys of the tribe. It's a heavy burden carrying the emotional baggage of the entire tribe, which is represented in their armbands, made of an ancient metal that predates the tribe itself. Buck was born to protect. Being 5 years older than his brother Satume, Buck saw to looking after and caring for him when their parents died and stayed by his side during his recovery. As a born dreamwalker, Buck was always hyper-aware of the emotions of his tribe mates. And under the brutal tyranny of Redacted, their turmoil grew to monstrous levels that would have driven Buck insane if he wasn't selected to be a guardian. This burden and subsequent alienation forced Buck to develop a hard exterior that hides a fierce compassion for his loved ones. After the death of Redacted and Satume's rise to leader, his guardian duties haven't slowed down at all. However, Buck makes it a point to connect with the children of the tribe. He understands they feel just as much, if not more, than adults do, and require special attention. He does not neglect the older members. He offers counsel to the whole tribe, but will not force anyone if they do not wish to speak to him. Now, if you ask the average tribe member who the next in rank would be, they would probably either say the champion or the elders. Which, to be fair, they aren't wrong in an everyday part of life aspect, but to the tribe as a whole, just barely under the guardian is the keeper of the forge. The keeper is not only the blacksmith for the tribe, forging the mystic metal they use for their knives and tools, but it's also their job to learn and preserve the history and sacred traditions of the tribe. It's a lonely and thankless job, not for the faint of heart. Firedust always had his hands busy crafting something or another for his family and friends. His mother especially encouraged his creativity and praised his work. But after her unexpected death to sickness, it was just him and his father, Sundust, who was not as affectionate as his late wife. Their strained relationship nearly snapped completely when Sundust threw out all of Firedust's tools and tried to force him to become a warrior, a fact which Firedust would never forgive him for. His only solace was in his friends, particularly Camilla, whom he harbored romantic feelings. Though she never returned his feelings, they still remain good friends and often give each other gifts. Since becoming the keeper, Firedust fully moved into the forge's keep so he could focus on his work. It's slow going, but Firedust has great ambitions to craft and engrave the complete history of the Shia tribe for all to come and learn of their heritage in the mountains. And then, there's the champion. They are the tribe's strongest and most skilled fighter. They lead and direct both the warriors and the sentinels in their patrols, and in the days of old, they would be the one to fight for the tribe in single combat. The position of champion is not fixed, as anyone could raise a challenge during the summer games and claim the title. While technically not above the elders of the tribe, the champion doesn't really answer to the elders directly. Or at least, Roderick doesn't answer to them. Roderick was named after his grandfather Roderick, who was a pillar in the tribe's history as the first outsider to advocate for their right to live in the forest, and later joined them. While never meeting him, Roderick grew up on stories of his grandfather and how he changed tribe culture. These stories instilled a strong sense of justice in him, and after losing his parents to a bear attack for speaking up against Redacted, Roderick couldn't stand idly by. He trained hard to become a powerful warrior and fought to gain Redacted's favor. Roderick used this favor to lure him away from camp and away from his current champion, where he, along with Buck and Setime, staged his very own bear attack. He nearly drowned in the blood of his past and succumbed to a hardened heart, but as fate would have it, he met Dahlia, a member of David's gang and the beauty to his beast. The two fell hard for each other and would later marry that same year. Roderick lost his parents, broke bones, and watched the light of life fade from a man's eyes, but the first time he ever cried was when he held his firstborn son, Raikou. He has held the title of champion for 15 years and has protected his tribe without fail. He has the respect of every member, even the elders. Children are frightened of him, but it's only due to his ability to seemingly appear out of nowhere and interrupt their schemes. But they know he would never hurt them, as they've seen him doting on his 3, soon-to-be 4 children, and snuggling with his wife. Up next are the elders, who are, obviously, the eldest of the tribe. They have served their tribe for many years, and though they have retired from active duty, the elders still play a vital role. Since Setsume became leader, the elders have been fully integrated into the council, giving them a stronger voice in deliberations, much to the tribe's disappointment. The older tribe members remember the cruelty of the previous leader, and while they do realize it wasn't the elders' fault, some still blame them for allowing him to take control as he did. This distrust of the elders is felt and seen by the others, but the only one who's seemingly not surprised by any of it is Halana, not only the oldest of the elders, but also the oldest in recent memory. Being a former keeper, Halana knows the Shia tribe history and customs better than anyone. She was not the keeper when Redacted was leader. She had already retired by then. No matter how distrusting the rest of the tribe is towards the elders, when Halana speaks, everyone listens. The same cannot be said for the next oldest member, Sundust, Firedust's father. He served many seasons as a warrior and is still just as loud and opinionated as he ever was. He is constantly ranting about how the tribe needs more warriors and is always arguing over something with someone. Usually, it's his much younger and only friend in the tribe, Hildur. From the day Hildur was born, rumors were spread about him being the son of Redacted, though it was never confirmed. Despite this, Hildur feels a tremendous amount of guilt for what happened to the tribe and spends every day trying to make amends. Having no children of his own, Hildur took in and raised many of the parentless children of the tribe and still looks after them to this day. He is the second most respected tribe elder, the first being Melina, a kind and soft-spoken woman who has recently retired from being a healer since her eyesight and hand strength started failing. Despite this, young mothers will still go to her for advice on raising children. The young ones will also go to her to hear stories of the mischief their parents used to get into, and tips on how to pull off their latest schemes. All this must be done out of the impeccable earshot of the ever-watching Raven, a woman of few words and even fewer smiles. It is said that she can hear everything that happens in the tribe territory, and that she can even see into the future with her cold, hard stare. Many more rumors spread about her uncanny abilities, and if that is to be her only legacy, Raven is quite pleased with it, though her true pride and joy lie in her two sons, the oldest being Cat. Cat isn't his real name. He was just called that due to his acrobatics and stealth, and the name just stuck. Cat used to be a skilled hunter for the tribe, but was forced to retire after standing up to a charging bull moose that caught him on its antlers and flung him hard into a tree. Though he has recovered, his right hand shakes unsteadily and he requires a cane to get around. While Cat does mourn the loss of his physical prowess, he now channels his ambitions to help the tribe by telling his story to the young ones, encouraging them to be brave when needed and cautious when necessary. It's at this point we reach the main body of the Shia tribe, which is split into 5 roles/jobs. While in the past some leaders have held certain roles in higher regard than others, no one job is more important than the other. That being said, each role is directed by their senior members as they have the most experience. These senior members are also part of the council, and report any news and needs the tribe has to the leaders and elders. Although, if you want to be technical, the healers outrank everybody if the situation calls for it, especially under Strelka's command. It doesn't matter who the person is. If she sees them limping, favoring a limb, or even hears a sniffle, she will sit their arse down to look them over, all while berating them for wasting her time with their stupidity. The young ones call her the old howler behind her back, and she has every right to be watchful. It was by her hands that Setsume survived the bear attack all those years ago. She's the polar opposite to her younger twin, Trelsek, who doesn't say much of anything. He was always a shy child, but one day, he just stopped talking altogether. While being too timid to be a warrior, and not personable enough to be a caretaker, Trelsek was selected to be a sentinel, stealthy guards that watch over the tribe in the night, which suited the poor introvert just fine. Despite being the senior sentinel, and by rights the one who should be in charge, Trelsek is perfectly content with Roderick calling the shots, as he used to be a sentinel before rising to champion. Caretakers are the homebodies of the tribe. They tend to the children, gather firewood, cook meals, and see to the overall cleanliness of the camp. Since Camilla took charge, she has taken to decorating the camp with colorful ribbons and sweet-smelling flowers. She says it's to help boost morale, but everyone knows she's just trying to stay busy to keep her mind off Hige, her late husband and former hunter that went missing 8 years back, leaving her to raise their 3 children. But Camilla would never let anything keep her from comforting and helping her tribe mates. Like sentinels, the warriors are tasked with patrolling and guarding the tribe's territory from any and all dangers like bears, wolves, and outsiders. Unlike sentinels, however, Sky has no interest in allowing Roderick to order him around and barely tolerates him accompanying patrols. It's nothing personal. Sky just hates being told what to do. His mother Melina jokes that he was born scowling and grumpy. It's a surprise to everyone how a man like Sky could be close friends with Setsume. It may just be because Sky is Naomi's younger brother, but they got along well enough before that. Sky takes his job very seriously and just can't understand why someone as laid back and childish as Drake could possibly be trusted as a hunter. While the caretakers also hunt fish and smaller prey, hunters travel to hunt larger game like deer and elk for their meat and pelts. Drake wasn't always the only hunter, but with Hige's disappearance and Kat's forced retirement, the burden of feeding the tribe rests solely on his shoulders. Anyone else would have cracked under the pressure. But not Drake. He embraces the challenge with glee and works hard to ensure the tribe is fed, all while still finding time to spend with his beloved niece and nephew, Hurricane and Khan. Hey there, beautiful people. I just wanted to say real quick, if you made it to the end of this long-ass video, applause to you, man. Y'all are the real OG. I've been wanting to make videos like this for a long time now, but never really knew how to put them together. And honestly, after 5 days of drawing, 3 hours of editing, and after 6 pages of agonizing scripts, I think it turned out pretty okay. If you agree, be sure to leave a like, a comment on who your favorite character is and what job you would probably like to have in the tribe. Or, if you didn't like it, go ahead and tell me too. Any sort of engagement is positive for the algorithm. There will be many more videos like this in the future, hopefully not as complicated to edit as this one was. So if you want to see more, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I never know how to end these sort of videos, so I'll just say thank you for watching. You're beautiful. I love you. Goodbye.